Hey Sagittarius, this is your general tarot reading for Sagittarius Sun, Moon and Ascendant, or rising sign for the month of April. And you're probably looking at me now saying, you better tell me this is going to be a good month. Tell me it's going to be a good one, because I can't cope if it's another stressful month. Well, look, Sag, you can call back the witch doctor and the exorcist and tell them that you don't need their services anymore, because things are actually going to improve. This is the moment where things turn around. But, did I say but? I did, I said but. But for things to turn around, they must first feel a little bit, okay, it turned around, but it wasn't without any great effort, if you know what I mean. So what the heck is turning around? Well, I'm going to focus. There's so many things happening for you, but I want to focus on the big thing that's happening. Healing is happening as this lovely card of healing comes out. Healing is literally on the cards for you. Apart from Pisces, Chiron, the wounded healer, who in some ways is very associated with Sagittarius, the wounded healer is moving out of Pisces and into Aries. So anything that you've been suffering under, anything you've been suffering with, anything that's like a long-term pain or pain in the ass, is now changing over. You feel more energy in that area of suffering and wounds, to take control of it and finally address it. Finally feel that you can come out of that corner, you know, the corner with the writing above it saying, this is the corner for people who suffer, and you're just sitting there going, yeah, this is me. I've been here for a while, you know. Yeah, I'll be here next week too. Well, actually, you won't, because around mid-April, it all changes. You come out of the sufferer's corner and start taking better command of all that needs to be healed, Sag. So that's good. Another card coming out there, the High Priestess. Deep, deep, deep wisdom. Yeah. Deep wisdom and deep changes. And the deep transformation coming from a very hidden and secret place. You've 12th house energy there, you know. Jupiter, your main man, is retrograding there under the influence of Scorpio in the 12th house of things that are deep, dark and hidden. And also what was going on there, the Pluto energy, which is very scorpionic, Scorpio type energy, is the big one that I'm going to talk about. The descent into the underworld to retrieve back some self-esteem and self-confidence and self-worth, which in turn acts as a treasure in your spirit. And because you will feel that you have more self-value, courtesy of Pluto and Saturn going retrograde in there, you will return not being willing to tolerate any lack, as this card comes out. The Lover is gorgeous. Any lack in your life financially. So if you feel that you've been so stressing about your finances, and again, I'm not saying that you were on the street, but it just felt that if you didn't really keep a tight hold over your income, over your finances, over your bank accounts, that it would just all fall apart and you'd lose it. And it was a stressful time. But April now, with the journey into the underground, as Persephone had made, you're going to come back with something of real, authentic value that will remove this feeling of lack. So that's not bad, Sag. That is not bad at all. What else have we got going on there? You know, it is a challenge. Before I move on, it is a challenge to come out of that. You know, you have a choice really in April to stay stuck and to say, better the devil you know than the devil you don't, and say, oh, I better stick with this low-income job, or I better stick with this position, this financial position, because even if it's in a relationship and your partner's not making a lot of money and you're holding the fort, or vice versa, or so on, it's just not something that you'll be able to tolerate anymore. You'll lock horns with this and say, we've got to fix it, I've got to fix this. What else down there in the chart? Because you can't stay stuck like that. And here's what this usually promises, and I hate to overpromise things, I really do. Anyone who's on my Facebook page will recognize this card, the Seven of Cups, the Queen of Swords. The beauty of what's happening here, of being squeezed extra hard to dig deeper into challenging your financial issues in life. The beauty is that you can really turn it around to go from rags to riches, to go from lack to abundance. So you'll, like I said, you'll feel the squeeze, you certainly will, but it's that pressure that needs to happen. It's the pressure cooker that once it's cooked and it comes out and it's perfect. And that's it. You can go from 0 to hero in no time at all. I'm not saying you're a 0. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about your finances, Sag. But that's how this operates. So don't forget us when you're a billionaire, please, Sag. Please. I didn't even say millionaire, because potentially if you embrace your creativity, which is another energy that you've got on here, if you play and relax and enjoy and stop doing things from a sense of, oh, I need this job, I hate it, but I need to keep doing it, and just make a really good effort or some strategy or some real decision to say, I need to just do something that's more me. I need to be more creative in my life. I need to be earning money doing something that brings me pleasure. Because you, of all people, Sag, you know that life is for living. You know life is an adventure. So how the hell did you end up getting stuck? Well, that's the big question. We'll blame Saturn. We don't know who to blame. But you will rediscover that life is an adventure, and one that you can make money from. And you'll figure that out in April, Sag. You'll figure it out. Life is play. These are not things that you don't know. You know this. But what you probably will only realize in April, life is play, life is an adventure, but I can also make money doing the things I'm doing. I mean, why the hell not? You love adventure. Why don't you start traveling the world and writing about it? I mean, you wouldn't be the first person to do it, but certainly through your new perspective, you could be the most interesting person to write about it. What have you got playful in you that is worth money? See, as this card came out, money, 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 money. The end of a karmic cycle to do with money. The Hero's card, actually. It's that sudden realization that you have always had abundance. It's just that Saturn and Pluto now are squeezing you so hard to make you see. They're really just trying to drag all of your attention to something quite important, and that is that you never had lack. You just experienced it. It was just a projection. See, Sag? See? It was a very convincing projection. Very bloody convincing. But that's really what it was. You had to experience that squeeze, that sense of lack, in order to know how not ever to go there again. Now, Saturn's not moving out of the sign in April. He's still there. He's going to be there for another while. But this is the moment where it turns around. This is the moment when Saturn stops being the baddie. And you suddenly go, I get what you're doing. I get what you're trying to show me. He'll stop being an asshole, and you'll start working with him. He'll stop being the hard taskmaster who just wants to whip your ass all the time, and he'll start becoming the most important tutor that you'll ever experience in your life when it comes to money and finances and worth and value. And perhaps he'll show you what you need to value. Maybe you haven't been putting value on the right things. Maybe you've been valuing all the wrong people. Maybe you've been valuing all the wrong type of relationships. Maybe you've been valuing all the wrong career choices. Maybe you put no value on your family and too much value on something that really doesn't have any great importance in the bigger scheme of things. Maybe you put too much value on the things that you've learned, the things that you believe in, your ideologies, and not enough value in realizing that all the answers are inside you. There's no external source that can teach you anything, especially not when the masters, Saturn and Pluto, are showing you where you can find the real deep treasure. It's in you. It was always in you. Really, it was. But you knew that. You knew it, but now you're going to feel it. See how it works? I just looked up, that's quite cute. I just looked up at my camera to see how much time I've been waffling on for. And when I looked at the time, it was 11:11. Some synchronicity, so 11:11 might be happening. I think that you'll get it. I always trust you, Sag, really more than most. I always trust you because you do. I always say this, you watch for signs. You watch for omens. You see the big picture. You are the first to be aware and to decipher. So that moment when I kind of finished talking about the energies and looked up and saw 11:11, I said, I think Sag gets this. And thank God you do. You know, there are a lot of signs who are just not able for the stresses at the moment. And I know they're challenging. I know they are. They're challenging. They super are challenging. But yet, with you, Sag, there's just a trust that I have with you that you're meeting something halfway. You're meeting the universe halfway. You're meeting these difficulties halfway. You're beginning to recognize that the stresses in your life have a greater meaning. And I think I love you for that. Because you're playing my tune. And I like that. What else have we gone on? Okay, let's change it up. We've got the new moon. Very slow cards happening here. We've only got, what, 6 cards. The new moon happening on the 5th of April. Brand new insights and ideas and opportunities and how to play and be free and have romance just for the hell of it and do the things that your heart wants to do. The silly things, the playful things, just like this first card, taking nothing too seriously. And the world will always say, you gotta take shit seriously. The 7 of Pentacles. Take shit seriously, because this is a serious life. And if you don't take shit seriously, then you're going to end up on the floor. If you don't take shit seriously, then you're a nothing. This is a serious life. Is it? Fuck. Excuse my language, but is it? Fuck. It's not a serious life. You've one life. Well, unless you believe in reincarnation, but you have this life at least. You want to go through the world being serious and stressed? Nah. So the new moon on the 15th of April is going to remind you that it's just fun. As 2 cards come out there. The first one was the 9 of Pentacles and another one fell on the floor. Hold on. The moon. And where is the moon? As we speak about the new moon is reminding you to play and have fun and be creative. Take your mind out of the machine of the world, put it back into a bit of play. And at the end of the month, on April 29th, there's a full moon in your 12th house, which tells me that some things may have to be lost. That which should be lost can be lost as we leave April and enter May. And it's not like losing your car keys or losing something like that, which sometimes actually does happen. but it's more like what needs to be lost will be lost. Confusion. If that's something that you want to see get lost, then get lost at the end of the month. Another card on the floor. Yeah, confusion telling it to get lost. Yeah, maybe that needs to get lost. The stress. That needs to get lost. The shit that's going round and round and round and round in your mind, that needs to get lost. The end of April promises you that. Mercury finally has gone direct in the 5th house of fun, joy, play, romance, pleasure. And what else happening then? The Sun then moves into your 6th house with Venus around the 20th of April. And that is really making you healthier. It's going to give you a focus on getting back in touch with your body and feeling that it's a vehicle for this world. So if you're going to travel on your big adventures in this world, try to look after it, you know, try to be kind and gentle to it, because you've a long life. You Sagittarius definitely always have long life, so if you're going to have a long life, take care of yourself, baby. April might remind you of that. In terms of your work life too, that things might definitely improve as you see, once you realize that it's all about play and adventure, there will be that moment around the 20th of April where you go, I'm going to implement this. I'm going to start this. I'm going to play with this. I'm going to toy with this idea of incorporating more fun into my work life. That's a good thing to do. Venus then around the 25th of April goes into your 7th house. Look at this gorgeous card. Hold on a minute. The Tower. Yeah, things are coming crashing down. They are. But for good reason. Because they can't be supported anymore. The bullshit things in our lives, when this card comes up, it's only the things that the lightning strikes and that crumbles down. They're not the things that are built on solid foundations. They're the things that are built half-assed. They're the things that are derelict. They're the things that have no great support. They weren't built well. They weren't built on solid foundations. And because of that, when the lightning strike comes, they collapse. And let them collapse. Because the last card that came out was the end of a great karmic cycle. Yeah, the end of a great karmic cycle. I love that. I love it. So finally, look, 17, almost 18 minutes, I'm talking about the energies now. Because it's Mercury retrograde when I'm recording this bloody thing, the camera stand broke. Because that's the type of shit that happens under Mercury retrograde when you're trying to work with technology. It just goes, So I'm not even going to try to bring the camera down to look at the cards because it will just collapse. That's how it works. That's how it works. Come on, retrograde. Please just hurry up and turn around, which it will. It'll go direct on the 16th of April. So apologies if I'm bringing the cards up and not showing you. So we begin with this gorgeous card, Sag, the card of healing, the card of, again, having more love, pleasure and joy in your life and taking the seriousness out of it. And going back to a time that was far more innocent. If you see, they're kids. This is a love card. It's a healing card. It's also a psychic card. But these are not adults. These are two children. And the power of play and the power of innocence and curiosity is far too underestimated. Because it's in the eyes of a child. It's in the eyes of a beginner that great things happen. How many times have you been at Christmas with your family or friends and played a board game or something like that? And the person who says, I've never played this before, can I try? And you say, oh yeah, sure. And they're the ones that keep winning the game, and we call it beginner's luck. Really? What it probably is that they're entering in without any preconceptions, without any expectations. They're just playing the game and just expecting the unexpected. And because they're doing that, they end up winning all the bloody thing. And that's the energy that is for April for you. Go into that space where you heal by being the beginner, being the one who doesn't know the rules, being the one who's just been invited to the poker table and saying, how do we play this? And then pulls all the chips at the end of the game. That's what it's like, baby. That's what it's like. New eyes without the preconceptions. And why? Because Pluto, again, I'm going to say this is quite Pluto energy. It's new moon energy also, the new moon in the 5th house of play, everything we've just spoken about, but also her descent into the underworld. I spoke to Gemini about this too. It brings back something of real substance. It brings back the real treasures, the things that have real value in your life. It's dark, it's usually hidden, but it's more valuable than anything you'll see on the surface. And it's your inner truth, it's your inner wisdom. And it's almost that moment where if you stop overthinking and overcomplicating your life and your financial life in particular, then you will have better opportunity to experience a life that is more authentic and more true to your big Sagittarius picture, if you know what I mean. Now, this is also very interesting because the card talks about deep wisdom and deep insights. Again, take your mind away from what you think you know and start looking and judging from maybe your gut instinct, whatever you choose to call it, your psychic intuition. Some of you might be entering April highly interested in occult matters, the tarot divination or any form like that. You might have made a decision in March to get back really involved and engaged with that psychic, deep, esoteric part of yourself, and it's worth doing. The energy is there for you to do it. And I think also your intuition will be very heightened this month too, because there is the Jupiter retrograde still happening in your 12th house. Secrets, mysteries, things that are unfolding in an illogical way, yet here it is, here they surface. You don't know how or why, but excuse me, excuse me, I have a cold too. Disaster on top of Mercury retrograde, my camera not working, I have a cough and a cold. But anyway, but it's this moment where you're eliminating anything that's blocking your psyche. Perhaps for a long time you felt, Sagittarius, that you couldn't tap into your inner wisdom. You couldn't tap in to what was happening in your life, that usually you'd see the synchronicities, like I said, 11:11 and things like that, and the signs and omens seem to elude you for a long time, but now finally in April you get that strength and power back. And here we have the Lovers, the beautiful card, Gemini card. Some of you could be working with a Gemini, having a relationship perhaps with a Gemini, or doing something of great value with a Gemini, and just basically falling in love. Because this really is the card of falling in love. So it could be new love, which would be very, very, very nice. And very... very worth it. Where's Venus? On the 25th of April, she goes into your 7th house of partnerships. So for some of you, you could find that you have to rethink your partnerships and perhaps start a new love, maybe. Who knows? Now, beside that, I'm going to go with a kind of a different meaning with these cards because, like I said, if you're on my Facebook page, you'll know what this means. The new moon in Pisces in March offered people an invitation to wipe the mirror clean and to have a good long look at themselves. Everybody, not just you, Sag, to have a good long look and see where you're actively messing up the things in your life, say finances or the people that you truly value. If things haven't been running smoothly in both areas, you have an opportunity from March now and into April to see what your part to play in all of this is. If you can't find somebody who really loves you, your other half, your soulmate, see there's two people coming together like kind of a Gemini energy where the two pieces, their sole mission is to unite and become one. If you can't find anybody who is on that wavelength with you, where they unite with you and see you as another them, to join with you on a very, very soul, deep soul level, if you can't find them, then perhaps in April you'll probably say to yourself, why am I not finding them? Is it something I'm transmitting? Is it that I'm not giving out the aura of somebody who is prepared to open up and offer this beautiful cup of love? Am I projecting all the wrong things into my relationships? You know, are they being fucked up because I'm not seeing my mistakes? And this is an opportunity for you to address that. It's happening for all the other signs too. Also, perhaps for some of you, love will be that very catalyst, that trigger where you're able to look and project something more beautiful into your future. It could very well just be that you're inspired by a new love or a kind of a renaissance in your relationship. But here we have the Hero's card. The two cards here, you know, talking about the end of a karmic cycle. This is the first one. Definitely, it's a financial card. It's the card of money. It's the card of self-worth. This tells me everything we've just spoken about. You're going to finally realize through the pressure of April that what's going on. You're going to realize how to handle this situation. You're going to realize that your finances can take a major turnaround, and you're going to master it, and you're going to come through it. And like I said, money could really turn around from now on, from April onwards. That sense of lack that you had can suddenly turn into, oh my God, I've more than I need. Really, 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 really. But it seems to involve projects that allow you to be adventurous and have fun. The money will come as soon as you realize that. And beside it, excuse me, the Queen of Swords. Now, she has her back to that. So this is quite interesting, because even though you're promised in April to come through this karmic cycle of finance issues, etc., etc., the Queen of Swords here is saying, yeah, but I need to keep my mind together. I need to stay logical. I mean, this shit just doesn't happen. I mean, how does money just come like that in April? How does it just happen? I need to think about this. I need to think why it suddenly turned. I need to think. I need to put logical ideas here. And that's not what you've got to do. What you've got to do is relax and play. So, you know, she's not accepting this as an outcome. She's saying it can't be true, it can't be possible. But the answer is, it is possible. It really is possible. And I'll say this, if there is a point in your life where you do suddenly feel that turnaround and money does start coming into you, lose the poverty consciousness, where you feel, I have to defend what I have now. I have to defend it. I'm getting money here. Don't come near me. Don't come near, bitches. I have a sword. Don't come near me. Don't come near my stash. You might have to drop that kind of style of thinking too. On the other hand, for some of you Sagittarians, when the money does come in, you might recognize that there are people who might look for payouts and handouts and say, oh, you're in the money now. You figured out how to balance your cash. Show me the money. That's what that sword is for. That's what that sword is for. When they come close, you say, ah, yeah, look, come, I've got money in my hand. Come on, walk this way. Look, it's in my hand. Just touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it. And she chops the hand because you don't need people who are draining you financially in your life. And for those of you who work with clients, I'm going to say this, shake up your clients a bit. If you are somebody who works alone and depends on clients, and if they are being real assholes, if they're taking the joy out of the work you're doing, use that sword to cut them out and replace them with better clients. Have no fear in doing that, because they're contributing, and their negative energy, for those of you who do work with clients, their negative energy is contributing to this sense of lack. So only bring people into your financial world who are growers, people who have a positive relationship with money and with finances. A beautiful card. April again showing you that you're finally given an opportunity to look down and reflect upon how your financial world is. And you'll have a much better sense of control over it. You'll be saying, there's my crop. What needs to be weeded? What needs to be watered? What needs to be pulled? What needs to be changed? What needs to be, is this the right crop I'm growing? Is this the right thing I'm doing? So he's contemplating. He says, can I make my crop, be more fruitful? Can I make the field more fertile? Can I do something to increase? And beside it, after he has that good long think, there he is standing on his own, feeling fantastic, feeling satisfied, emotionally fulfilled. This is the big turnaround, the healing, that he's in his own garden, standing on his own 2 feet, having that little Disney moment where the birds are landing on his hand and there's a type of, what was that, Snow White, wasn't it? Not whistle while you work, what was it? I can't remember, what was that, where she's cleaning the house and the little birds help her? I can't remember, but it's like that. She's going around her daily tasks, she's cleaning up the house like Snow White and the birds come and they help her. There is that moment. I know it sounds ridiculous, it's a bit far-fetched, but that is the moment. As soon as you realise that April is bringing you more control over your finances, you'll have that joy and fun and you'll feel independent. You'll feel independent. You won't be depending on those assholes in your job. You won't be depending on those asshole clients. You won't be depending on other people, maybe even family members. Family members won't be trying to take money from you. Friends won't be trying to take advantage of you because you got your independence. That's why. Now, towards the end of the month, these things happen under a type of a pressure cooker thing. And this is what these 2 cards are indicating. The moon often gives us nightmares, makes us lose sleep. We have too many thoughts going round and round in our mind. And this card also says the same thing. Too many stresses, too many strange things happening, too many negative things happening. And you can't sleep. And I'll just say this, Venus is moving from your 6th house into your 8th house. Before April ends, your health will improve in some way that helps you sleep better. Some of you may actually be so stressed that your sleep has suffered and your sense of rest has suffered. But trust that before the month ends, that will improve. Certainly. And if there's weird situations happening in your life, weird people doing weird and unexpected things, and they're stressing you out, know that that will change. Why will it change? Because if they're being assholes, causing you stress, being weirdos, and melting your mind, they've got to go. Really, they've got to go. Because now on, it's only about self-value. It's only about recognizing who is valuable to you and why they're valuable to you. A person isn't valuable to you because they give you a little bit of money. Not really. A person is valuable to you because they show you how to make more money. A person is valuable to you because they're loyal. They're not valuable to you because, they show up every now and then. That's not loyalty. There's no value in that. So all across the board, it'll be all about solidifying what is valuable to you. And like I said, once you recognize what holds true value in your life, you'll be able to project that out into the universe, which in turn will echo that back to you. See, he's projecting his dreams and wishes out into the skies, and the universe is holding them up, more or less saying, did we get this picture right? We took this image from your mind and we took a Polaroid of it. Am I old? Am I the only one who remembers what Polaroids are? And I took a picture of it and I put it up there. Is this what you've been dreaming of? And he's going, wow, yeah. So make sure when the universe takes a snapshot of what it is that's filling your cups of desires, make that shit good, because the universe will echo it back to you. And the shit that's not good will in turn be transmuted and destroyed under this great alchemy. Only the best dreams and wishes with the highest values can be held. See this card also, the Lovers, has a lot to do with alchemy. Bringing together, creating a union between you and something that holds real value. And anything, like I said, that doesn't have real value is going to just fall on its arse and disappear, 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 disappear. And get lost in the 12th house under the full moon at the end of the month. It can get lost and go to a place that it won't ever be found again. Last card, the end of a karmic cycle. The end of the karmic cycle. And your luck is turning for the better. You're on the up. Things are changing in April. It's big. It's big. Now, excuse me, as I said to other signs, it won't change overnight. Maybe for some of you, because you're actually quite lucky, Sagittarius, maybe for some of you it will change overnight. But it will begin changing in April, and you'll begin to see the tangible results of that change. The pressure will start coming off. It'll feel better. It'll make more sense. And again, you know, we said at the start of the reading that there was deep occult wisdom happening. You have another card here saying the same thing. T-A-R-O-T, tarot. Or you could say O-O-T-A, rota, which means wheel. And you've got the alchemical symbols there, the elements. They're all turning in your favour. Little snake, as we say in Ireland, a snake. Little snake coming there, which is actually Kundalini energy. So it's turning around. So there's very deep, deep transformation happening for you. And it's all in your favour. Sag, how do you feel about that? Are you prepared to go through just that little extra push, that last before it all makes sense? I mean, is that something you're able to do? Have you the energy for it? Have you the time for it? Have you the space here for it? Have you the space here for it? And if you don't, then perhaps it's time to make space for it. Make space for it. And in the meantime, as I always say to people who are coming to my readings to see whether they'll get a new car or get a new job, things like that, it's not usually what I read, but for those of you, let's say career is all about now changing your career in order to find a work experience or a career experience that involves adventure, fun, play, innocence, perhaps even working with children, perhaps working with innocent people. Some people who don't take life all that seriously. So financially, we've spoken about financially, it's turning, it's on the up. It's definitely on the up, baby. Definitely. In terms of love, you did get the Lovers card, and it could be love that helps you see a greater truth and a greater wisdom. Love could be the catalyst to change whatever it is that you're projecting out there, possibly. Love with a Gemini, perhaps. There's also the influence of Pisces, but I do believe that's the Pisces new moon that happened in March. This card can be a Saturnian card, speaking of Saturn. Some moon energy. I don't know if it's a Pisces or a Cancer. I don't feel that, but if you are looking for new love, it will be somebody who definitely has a strong influence of moon energy, or their moon sign, if you know what it is, certainly resonates in some way with you. And that's really it. That's all I can say, Sag. So be the child, heal, play, have fun, and once you do, the wheel is turning. Sag, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that was okay. Sorry I couldn't turn down and show you the cards because of my crappy tripod that just broke. And if this is your first time watching my videos, then please subscribe, like and share, and join me on frickin' Facebook. She Bear Tarot, because I do add extra bits every now and then. I've Instagram and Twitter too, and even if you're not into that, you know, that's your own thing. I'm not gonna force you, because you're already under enough pressure, Sag. You don't need anyone else saying, come to my bed. But what you hopefully will do is come back next month, so where we can see you as the millionaire, billionaire. What comes after that? Zillionaire? Trillionaire? I don't know. But you'll know, maybe, hopefully. Sag, I love you so much. Thank you for letting me read your energies. And I'm going to give you a big, big, big kiss for this gorgeous new rebirth and transformation for you in April. Mwah! See you next time, Sag. Love you.